right, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bah Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Bah Hashem, Wakak Dash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect and the 144,000 scattered across the four corners of the earth. Shalom to you. All right, in today's lesson, we're going to go into if you put in for the Lord, He's going to put in for you. So you have to take that, that leap of faith. Okay, you have to, show for the Lord. You have to fight for the Lord. All right, so you can't just, expect the Lord to do everything for you, and, you're just over here whining and complaining, But also, you don't have to, you got to understand that, the Lord don't expect you to be, like Superman in this thing, but, you do have to, put on for the Lord. You do have to show yourself to be a true believer in the Lord. All right, so without further ado, let's get right into it. We're going to start in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord shall fight for you, and ye shall hold your peace. Right. Okay, so let's talk about this. So, in these trying times that, that we're entering, okay, you have to, you got to understand that, it's, we're entering these times where the Lord's going to test your faith. So, you have to take that leap of faith. All right, you have to fight for the Lord. You have to show Him that you believe in Him. You have to show Him that that you're fighting for salvation. You can't just be a murmurer and a whiner the whole time. You have to show forth for the Lord. All right, I got an example. You guys ever seen that movie, The Matrix? Okay, remember the first one, where the first movie, The Matrix. All right, remember when Morpheus? Those of you that seen it, Morpheus told Neo. Remember, he's like, you gotta let it all go. So. Because he was holding on to that doubt, And when he told him that, remember, they were jumping from building to building. Remember that when Morpheus took Neo to the top of those buildings, and then they jumped from building to building. Then he, when that happened, then he, he did, when he saw Morpheus jump from one building to another. Okay, he was just like, no way, But that was an example to show you that you have to let go of this world. You have to truly put on for the Lord. And what did he have to do? Okay, he had to take that leap of faith. All right, he had to take that leap of faith. All right, so that's something that that's something that's very important. Okay, because you have to take that leap. You gotta take that step. See, just like that movie when Morpheus jumped from that building to the other building. Remember that? All right. So, but what was that example there? Okay. Neo, he was still holding on to that doubt. All right. See, because he had to take that leap of faith. Okay. Remember too when he did jump, he still had that doubt in him, but he jumped. But he fell, But he was okay because remember the ground, it kind of like absorbed. It was like a shock, Then he was bleeding from his mouth a little bit, but he was all right. See, so that's how it is with the Lord, Yeah, you're gonna have slip ups, you're gonna have falls at times, but at least you're taking that leap, But to show you that the Lord is with you, So for what is elect. So you may, a fight, So a fight's not called a fight because it's easy. You know, when you hit something, it hits back. It's a fight. It's not just a one-way street. You know, you see, it's not like just hitting a board. Remember that Bruce Lee movie? He's like, when that one guy hit a board, Chuck Norris, and then he's like, boards don't hit back. You know, because that don't prove that you're tough because you hit a. Remember Chuck Norris in that one Bruce Lee movie when it was Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee. That one dude, Chuck Norris, hit the board, and Bruce Lee's like, boards don't hit back, because that's not a fight, because you're just hitting a board, but that board, you know, can't fight back, you know? So that don't prove anything, see? You know? So that's why it's called a fight, because it's not easy, because, you know, there's a force hitting back. So you have to fight against that demon of doubt. You have to take that leap, you see? All right, so when he took that leap of faith, all right, yeah, he fell, but he was still able to keep on going. You know, he didn't just die. So that's how it is with the Lord. You're going to have slip-ups. You know, you're going to have setbacks. But you got to keep putting on for the Lord. All right, because look at when he didn't believe. Remember in the beginning of that movie, Matrix, when Morpheus called him? And then he was at his work and he had those agents, remember, following him? Remember that? Okay, so he's like, hey, I can get you out of here, but you have to listen to me. Remember? And then he was too scared because he had that demon of doubt. He didn't believe, you know? See, that's how it is. You have to trust in the Lord. All right, so what happened? What happened when he didn't? What happened when he didn't? You know, what happened when he didn't? You know, what happened when he didn't? You know, believe. The agents got him, all that, you know, he got caught up, see? Because Morpheus told him, hey, you have to just go out this back window and, you know, do this and that. But he didn't believe, he didn't follow instructions. So what happened? The agents got him. Okay, same thing. So this is why you have to believe. Okay, this is why you have to be thoroughly convinced in your own mind. All right, so let's get that precept. Convince. Right. All right, so right here, this is right here. So this is Romans chapter 14, verse 5. One man esteemeth one day above another, another esteemeth every day alike. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind. Right, okay, so this is very heavy right here, because remember, you can't, you can't just, think that you're going to be saved by the Lord, okay, while my brother believes, so I'm good, because he's good. The Lord understands. My brother, he's going to do the work for him. By his works, I'll be saved. No. Okay. All right. That's it's not happening like that. Remember Lot's wife? Okay. Remember Lot's wife. See? So you have to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Let's get that next. Okay. So you have to believe in the Lord that He is. All right. You yourself. You see, there are going to be elect members where their households are going to be saved, yeah, by, the elect out there. But, you can't just take that, if you had that attitude, well, my brother's doing it, so that's going to cover me. You can't have that attitude, because there are going to be some cases, scenarios out there where women and children, they're going to be saved because of the elect, doing the work. Their households are going to be saved because of that, brother. But you can't just have that attitude, well, my brother's out there teaching, so I'm good, Like, no, you can't have that, Alright, so let me get this precept. So I just wanted to, oh, there we go. Let's see. There it is. Okay, so this is very, very, very important, okay? So, back to that movie, The Matrix, right? Okay, so he took that you had to take that leap of faith. So he didn't believe Neo in that movie Matrix. All right, he didn't believe that he had that demon of doubt. See, because he didn't follow the instructions. So he thought, man, I'm not gonna make it out of here. See, all right. He's like, no, there's no way I can do that. See, because he was doubting. He can do it, but he just didn't do it. But what happened, you guys? When you guys started to, when Neo started to believe, remember, he started fighting. Remember all those agents. Remember in the subway when he was tired of running. And he's like, hey, what are you doing? Run. He's like, the agent's there. And he goes, nah, I'm gonna fight him. Remember? Because he started to believe. See? Because you have to actually believe. Remember that? Then now look, and then remember, and then look at how strong Neo got. But he didn't just wake up like that, like, yeah, I'm taking on all these agents and stuff. No, he had to be built up. He had to go through A, B, C, and D. He had to go through the trials. You see? All right? Very, very important. Okay? So he had to go through the trials. He had to go through the blood, sweat, and tears. Remember? Because when he tried to jump the first time, he didn't make it. Remember? Okay. So that's a clear example of, you have to have, you got to have that faith, So, remember he had that start in the Matrix, right? So that's just like the elect when you guys first come into the truth, because, some of you guys, you hear about the truth, you want to tell your family members that, about the Lord. You know what I'm saying? You want to, tell people, but you don't get the same reaction that you're expecting. Because, remember, the Lord's not coming for everybody. So in your mind, you're excited because you're like, hey, I found out the truth, You found out about Yahweh, the truth, that you're an Israelite. So, you want to tell, like, your family members and stuff, but you don't get the same reaction, So this is why, you kind of get that, like, oh, snap, Like, you have to go through things, you have to go through, setbacks, you got to go through hardships. You're going to have to go through, places where, in situations where it's not going to be comfortable. See? All right, so those things you got to keep in mind, But remember, once Neo started to believe, he started to move. Remember, he was dodging bullets. Remember? All right, because he started to believe. So you can't have that doubt. Because, in the beginning, you have that doubt because you're in the world, Because, you have to really believe that our power can save you, So that's why a lot of these Catholics out here, Christians, they're not going to make it. Because a lot of people don't really believe, They're just being phony and stuff. You know what I'm saying? They just kind of, they just want to, they just want to, just put on like an act for the community, A lot of people are just actors out here. But that's all right, They're playing their role. That's totally fine. But remember, when the Lord and the angels get here, you can't fake the funk with the Lord and the angels. You can fake it with your boss, your neighbors, your friends, but the Lord and the angels see everything and know your intentions, know your mind, everything. Yeah. So remember, so those that are just being phony out there and stuff, don't worry about them. The Lord and the angels, got a target right on them. They have a death angel following them everywhere they go, Yeah, we're in the time of judgment. It's a very scary time. It's scary and it's exciting at the same time. Because you're about to see, we're about to see, Lord willing, I'm still out here. We'll see what happens. What is the, we'll see, what, some brutal judgments out here. And then, but also, you have balance, because we're going to see miracles, spiritual power, Yeah, so there's a lot of things that we're going to see out here. See? Philippians chapter 2, verse 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, see, but now much more in my absence. See that? Because you not only do the prophets talk the talk, but they walk the walk. Because it's not just a Saturday thing where just you're a Saturday Israelite. No, it's an everyday thing. Yes, remember, you're gonna have slip ups. You're still gonna sin and stuff, but you have to offend less, and you have to you have to really walk the walk. You have to. This is what you do. See, because it's a lifestyle. It's not just all right, I'm gonna do good for just for Saturday. Just put on something for camp. Put on an act just for camp. Just go to church. No. Okay, it's an everyday thing. It's a lifestyle. You see. So remember, what you do on your everyday life. What you do in your walk is it's all being written down. All right, what you do behind closed doors. How do you carry yourself? Okay, how do you treat brothers? All right. Also, people in the world too. Like, are you just treating people like crap? What's going on? All right. Because remember, just because you found out that you're an Israelite doesn't give you the green light just to treat people like crap. All right. Because remember, the Israelites were over here on punishment right now. You see? All right. So this is what you have to understand. All right. I mean, it don't have to be like you're walking down with your head down. You know what I'm saying? But you have to understand that, we are over here because of because we stop obeying the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You see, and you see how the Edomites and the heathens treat our people. See that? Because we're underneath the curses. Why? Because we stop obeying the law, statutes, and commandments. See? All right? But now much more in my absence. See? Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Yeah. Because, you do not want to be, on the wrong side of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay? You do not want to be on the wrong side of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You see? All right? Because, brutal judgments are coming. It's Salakia, just a phone call. Kind of let it go through because I don't want to mess up this thing. It's all right. So, we have the, you don't want to be on the wrong side of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, So this is why you have to really, you have to really consider that, that these judgments are coming, and that the Lord is working out here. You see? All right. So that's something that is very important, because you have to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. All right. So you have to fight for the Lord. You have to show Him that you believe. You got to show Him that you want it. Hey. Okay, so right here is 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 12. Fight the good fight of faith. Right. Because it's a fight but for your faith, you see? All right, because you do have remember, we don't fight against flesh and blood, but principalities, all right, principalities, you know what I'm saying? Spirits, all right, like the powers of darkness, fight the good fight of faith, lay hold on eternal life. See? Okay? Whereunto thou art also called, and has professed a good profession before many witnesses. There you go. Huh? Let me see. Okay, let me get this more precept. This is 2 Timothy chapter 2. 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 7 through 8. All right, so this is the Apostle Paul. All right. I have fought a good fight, see, because he had to endure, He had to endure. Apostle Paul got stoned, he had to go through a lot, see? All right, so right here, I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. Right. So once again, why a lot of Israelites out there, pretty much like throw in the towel, sell out, is because they don't have no faith in the Lord. They got no faith in the Lord. And they're not patient. So to go into that word patient, that means because you have to suffer. You see? All right. Henceforth there is laid up a crown for me, a crown of righteousness, which the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day, and not to me only, but unto all them also that love his appearing. Right. See? So that's something that, that's something that's very, very important, So if you fight for the Lord will fight for you. All right, back to Exodus chapter 14, verse 14. All right, so you have to show, you got to stand up, and be a man. All right, or if you're part of the Daughters of Zion, you got to be a strong woman in this thing, You can't let people keep you down. You can't let someone, just because they find out that you believe in the Lord, that, oh, hey, man, I'm not going to trust in the Lord no more because I'm becoming less popular, People say, oh, I'm boring now. I'm not as cool no more. See? All right? So that's something that you have to really consider. See? All right? All right, so that's something that you have to really consider, that, it has to stay like that. All right? So you have to be willing to, be strong in the faith, no matter what, you go through, okay? You have to put your trust in the Lord. You see? You got to put your trust in the Lord. Huh? Oh, here we go. Right here. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. All right. Here we go. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. Check it out. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, spiritual wickedness in high places. See that? So, yeah, because not only is it a physical fight where, not like, like you're throwing blows and stuff with closed fists, all right? But, it's going to be, because people in the world will look at you like, oh, okay, because a lot of people, they don't really know. This is the truth, but some people, they call it a religion, right? Oh, they're in that religion. Yeah, we heard about the Hebrew Israelites. That's our nationality. That's who we are. Okay, and we teach the truth of the Bible. Okay, and all religions are handmade, are man-made. All right, all these religions out here, Christians, Catholics, they're all bugged out. Muslims, okay, the people out here they're through. All right, because where was their gods during the pandemic? You know, see. So you can see the works of our Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You see the ships, okay? You see the ships. You know what I'm saying? All right, those are the angels, and they're what the hopeful elect. We can actually prove it. Like, you see those ships right there? That's our power. Okay, those are the angels right there. See? All right. Tell all these other religions. All right, where's your power at? Where's Buddha at? Where's Allah at? Where are these? Where are the heathens? Where are your gods at? Let's see them. Let's see them. See? Huh? But us, we can prove all things because we're showing you what it is in the scriptures, and also just look up. You see those strange lights, those so-called UFOs? That's our power. Okay, those are the angels. Yahweh Shai is not here yet, but he's gonna get here in the middle of World War III, which is right here, right around the corner. See? But to everybody else, it's like, okay, because a lot of, like Apostle Ramlov said, people are real fast to tell you what it ain't, but they can't tell you what it is. Because they're real fast to say, well, his name's not Yahweh Shai. It's like, oh, okay. Well, what's his name then? And say, oh, well, Jesus Christ. Okay, well, how do you know that his name is Jesus Christ? Oh, well, because fucking, my grandpa told me. See? So this is what you have to understand. Okay? This is something that you have to understand. So it's like, your grandpa told you. See, so you can't bring no, you can't show no scholarship about yourself. Okay? You can't, remember, because we're professors, we're teachers. So show some scholarship about yourself, All right, prove that his name is Jesus Christ. Oh, well, it says it right there in the Bible. Yeah, but that word's made up, See, because we can tell you that, the letter J wasn't invented to 1524. That word Jesus is English, The English language wasn't invented to 400 AD. No one was even speaking English at the time when Yahweh Shai walked the earth, which was a little over 2,000 years ago. See, we can give you the whole breakdown, but when it comes down to Christians and Catholics, we'll say, well, what's his name? Jesus Christ. Well, how do you know that's his name? Well, because my aunt told me. It's like, shit, you see? So that's as far as it goes. Just because somebody told you, oh, you're sure, that's what it is. See? But you can't prove anything about it. You just say, oh, that's what my church said. That's what your church said. Okay, but can't bring no scholarship, anything, any facts, any years or dates, anything about it. See? So that's why a lot of these religions and stuff, they don't like the true believers of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, because they'll drown, because like Apostle Tahar said, we'll take them to the deep end and they'll drown because you're not well learned, These Catholics and Christians, they only know a few scriptures, and then they just start singing and dancing, and they just tell stories. Well, today I saw this, and I thought about, hey, you know what I'm saying? All right, they're not really going into the breakdowns, into what's really going on out here. See, the true members of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the true teachers, are going to tell you about everything. The history, the stones, what the Lord's name is, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay, what's coming? Martial law, the chip, which is the mark of the beast. Okay, what's going on with the agents, what's going on with Russia. To give you all angles. That way you can see the full spectrum. Not just, oh, the so-called white man's evil, ha ha ha. No, we're going to tell you exactly what it is and why it's coming. See? Give you the history, go into King David, Samson, All right. So right there, Samson. Hey, Samson. Okay. When Samson was when he did his works, okay, when he did his works, you know, he he believed in the Lord. Remember when he fought 1,000 Philistines, okay, with the jawbone of a donkey, of an ass. Seeing that bone didn't even break, and the Philistine soldiers, they had shields. You know, they had shields, armor, helmets, everything. You see, so they didn't really, they didn't really have that bone didn't break. You see, then what happened after? After Samson fought those Philistines, 1,000 of them, what happened? Okay, what happened after, what happened after, Samson fought those Philistines? He was thirsty. It's like anything else. You know, when you play basketball, you hit the gym, you go for a run or a hike, you're thirsty. You want some water, right? You know, like boxers, like fighters, UFC, boxing, after so many rounds, they go to the corner for a little bit more water, right? All right, because you get thirsty. So imagine Samson, he fought, he killed 1,000 Philistine soldiers. So imagine how thirsty he was. All right, so Samson told the Lord, like, man, Lord, like, the water for helping me, because he was able to fight those 1,000 Philistine soldiers. But then he's like, man, I'm about to die because I'm so thirsty, And what happened? The same bone that, the jawbone that Samson used to slay those Philistines, okay, what did he do? What did he do? The Lord had water come out through that bone. You see? All right? And he was able to drink water that came out of the bone, out of nowhere. See? This will show you because he fought for the Lord. All right? He was brave. And the Lord put it in him, so he can, he fought those 1,000 Philistines. You see? All right? Okay. So what happened after? So since he stood up like a man and trusted in the Lord gave him spiritual power to fight those 1,000 Philistine soldiers. What else? Okay. The Lord also gave him water. He made water come out of that bone. Yep. Imagine that out of nowhere. See, so the Lord can do anything. Like what happened with Moses. Okay, he split the rock in the middle of the desert and water came out. So that's why you have to believe, because you got to put on for the Lord. Because remember, in the 40 years in the wilderness, remember, it didn't look all like peaches and cream, where the Lord told Moses, all right, we're going to go out to the wilderness, take the Israelites with you. It wasn't like, a road where you looked at it and we had like a big old RV, campers and jet skis, and it's gonna be it's gonna be 40 years in the wilderness, but it's gonna be, everything's gonna be nice and dandy. No, that's why a lot of people, the 2/3 are talking crap, because they were looking like, man, we're just in the middle of nowhere. How is the Lord gonna sustain us? See, because when you look down the path, it's like, damn, how are we gonna do it? The Lord's gonna do it. See, the Lord fed us with quail, manna, angel's bread. Okay, had water just come out of a rock. Remember that? See? Because remember that the Lord's testing you. Because remember, the Lord controls everything on this earth. You see? The Lord controls everything on this earth. So that's something that you have to really, really understand. You see? So with that, you got to believe. So that's why too, when people are some of the elect are gonna go to concentration camps and stuff like that. But remember, the angels are gonna be with you, and some brothers, the 144,000, are gonna get that spiritual power and will be able to defeat every soldier that they have in that camp. Yep, not even an army will be able to stop a member of the 144,000. Facts. Okay, one member of the 144,000 can defeat a whole army. Just play with them. Their tanks, their jets. It's playtime. Yeah, you remember that. So some people are gonna go to prisons, but just for the Lord can activate that power. Remember that. Okay, the Lord's gonna show out His power. So just because you get hindered up and have to go to a facility, doesn't mean that, oh man, the Lord forgot about me. No, the Lord's setting it up. Okay, remember that. Okay? All right, so it's all about, do you believe in the Lord? Okay, are you going to keep your faith? You see? All right, so with that, keep the faith. All right, put on for the Lord and for the elect. All right, and fight for the Lord, and the Lord will fight for you. So with that, on your feet, soldier. Shalom.